So this is going to be tough for you then. See, this is going to be tough for you. Who have you got and why? Hi and welcome to the Real Women of Boxing, episode 20, where women with working knowledge and experience of the fight game bring you the latest interviews, news and reviews. My name is Jacqui-Lee Pryce and today we're keeping it strictly interviews. It's all about the Commonwealth Games. My guest today is a middleweight sensation from Australia. She is a 2020 Olympian. She won silver at the 2018 Commonwealth Games. Caitlin Parker. How you doing?
Yeah,
you all
I'm
right?
good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Bless you. Are you all packed up now? I can see it's looking empty in the back.
Empty, but down here is where all the packing's happening, so you can't see that. I've moved it all to one corner of the room.
Very good. Very good. So for the people that are tuning in, you are obviously representing Team Australia, but at the minute you are in Belfast. You've just attended, which is always crazy. The people that you're about to box, you've actually just had a training camp with, haven't you? How did it go?
Yeah, it's been a really good camp here. We've had a few countries. I've had lots of sparring. I've sparred the English, the Canadians, the Indians, Barbados. Like I've had, a few in my division. I find it very beneficial to work with these people. I feel like I can always pick up so much, and I'm always analysing things. So I don't feel like it's going to be a disadvantage to me anyway.
I mention it because for a lot of people that tune in to my podcast, they always watch professional boxing and they don't watch so much of amateur boxing. So it's kind of a weird thing for you guys to go out and be like, oh, okay, literally the week before you're going into a competition, you're fighting the same people. But we know what it's like on the amateur scene. This is your second Commonwealth Games, is it not?
Yeah, I went to the 2018 Commonwealth Games in the Gold Coast, which is awesome to have it in Australia. So I'm looking forward to my second one now. It's going to be a little bit different, but still so exciting to be representing Australia at this level and to be, getting on TV back home. People can watch me back home. It's one of those tournaments. We do a lot of international tournaments, but they're not all televised. It's pretty much Commonwealth Games for us and Olympics. Those are the big ones for Australia.
I mean, is it so much more important for you the second time around? Because, sorry, I'm going to have to bring it up. The last time you lost, didn't you, in a close final? It was a split decision against our Lauren Pryce. I couldn't think of a surname. Yeah. Lauren Pryce. So does this make this a kind of, a redemption? You want to go for gold this time around?
Absolutely, yeah. Coming that close, honestly, that whole training camp, I just had all I thought I was like, I'm going to get that gold medal. And when I saw, I'm on the podium, split decision loss in the end, and devastated, and I'm seeing her get the gold medal, I literally was just thinking, that's supposed to be mine. That's mine. So definitely coming to this one, wanting to get my absolute best performances. I've had an amazing training camp. There's a lot of things I've changed for that from the 2018 Com Games and from the Olympics. There's a lot I'm improving and continuously learning it as an athlete. So I've got a lot to show. I can't wait, and definitely going for the gold. I want to upgrade that silver.
To be fair, you're quite similar. You're an aggressive, come-forward fighter as well. I mean, you're rough and tumble like Lauren, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I can be quite. I've got quite a big range of how I can fight. I can change it for what I need to do. I think I'm quite adaptable in the ring, so. Like I said, I like to analyze. I like to see what's going on. I can really pick it up in the ring, and so if something's not quite working, I can change the tactics. But yeah, absolutely, I love that come forward, aggressive counter as well. Like it's fun. I like mixing it up, but I can always box on the back foot as well and see the openings and be quite slick. And so we'll see.
What was nice to see is it was very much a chess match with you two as well. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of respect, and but what would you find, or what did you find, should I say, the most frustrating about boxing her?
I quite like boxing her. We boxed twice now. So the first time we met was at the Commonwealth Games final, where she got the win over me, and then I beat her at the next tournament in Spain for the Boxam tournament. So we've had that 1-for-1. Now she's gone on to win an Olympic gold medal, world champion. She's a great boxer. But yeah, we've done a lot of rounds of sparring as well when I go to Sheffield for the at their camps, and it's great. I love that stuff. You know, we're both thinking, we're both real switched on.
Yeah.
You know, if I try to get in there and try and mix it with her, you know, she's really good with the footwork. So if I stay back, she struggles with that. So,
yeah.
yeah.
She's trying to draw you. So she's waiting. You're trying to draw. It's like, okay,
yeah.
can somebody do something?
Once you fall in and you don't do that.
Yeah. When you heard she turned over professional, you know, were you frustrated because you wanted to maybe have a, you know, like you say, you've both won one. You might have wanted to have another go at her to see if you could top her, or were you secretly like, thank God?
Oh, no, I didn't know that. Like I said, she's a great boxer. And yeah, I'd absolutely love to meet her in the ring again. And maybe that's going to be in the professional ranks. Who knows? But yeah, all the respect for her. But you know, in the ring, it's down to business. And like I said, hopefully we do meet in the future.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful, actually. So let's talk about your accomplishments as an amateur, because you're highly accomplished. You are 8 times national champion, youth Olympic bronze medalist, youth Olympic silver medalist, youth world championship silver medal, and Asian and Oceania Olympic qualifiers. You got the silver medal, and then obviously you went to the 2020 Olympics. I mean, you've done a lot. I heard that you first started in Taekwondo. Why did you make that transition into boxing, and at what age did you make that transition?
Yeah, I did quite a few sports as a kid. That's what I loved that my parents did, was involve me in a whole lot of different sports. I found my niche. I love the combat sports, and Taekwondo is where I first started competing. And I've always been quite big for my age. So I was 9 years old and I was competing against 15-year-old girls in Taekwondo. It's always been like that for me. I got to black belt in Taekwondo. It wasn't really, nice. I don't know, I felt like I wanted to do something different, and I couldn't grade up till a few years later, I think. So I moved over to boxing, and honestly, absolutely loved it. You know, proving myself against the boys, one of my favourite things. Like, I've always been one of the only girls in the gym. And when you know the boys, I don't want to spar. Even from such a young age, I'm like, oh, you don't have to punch me. I'll just punch you. And then, you know, obviously they don't like that, and they'll punch back eventually.
And they'll punch back then, funnily enough.
I love the challenge. I played rugby, things like that. I was the only girl.
Okay.
My dad would always, push me to be my best self, and wanted me to defend myself with Taekwondo and things like that. So, yeah, boxing, I started at 11. The gym I was at didn't really have competition fighters, and I'm very competitive. I wanted to get to the next level, and I wanted to compete for boxing. Moved gym, and started competing when I was 13. And my first fight, I couldn't find anyone my size again, so I had to have an exhibition with a 25-year-old woman. My first time in the boxing ring.
Wow!
First time I weighed in, I was.
And how old were you? How old
13.
were you? That shouldn't even be allowed.
Yeah, I know, it was a bit different back then, I think. I don't think they were.
Yeah. Did you whoop her?
Yeah, absolutely.
I bet she gave up as well after that.
Yeah. To be fair, I haven't seen her around, but I'm glad she got me in there, and I got to experience that, because it was very frustrating just being that young. I've been training for 2-3 years, and I'm like, come on, just let me get in the ring. Eventually, and then I think I went to my first nationals, and only had 6 fights, and I stopped during the first round. Went to world championship straight after that, and I got a bronze medal there, and I'd only had 8 fights. So it's been I got to that Australian level quite quickly, and I've been here since, and trying to, always improve myself, get as much experience as I can, and obviously coming to places like this, to Northern Ireland right now where we are, and getting the best sparring that I can get in the world,
But you actually became a part of Team Australia. Was it 15 years of age?
Yeah, 15. Just turned 15 when I went to that World Championships.
So you've literally been at top level. I mean, what are you now, 25?
26 this year. Yeah,
wow.
so God. Been in here for a while.
That's amazing. That's actually amazing. It's really amazing that you were from such a young age. I mean, you must have been marked out as a huge talent from quite a young age. I suspect you were just a natural at the sport.
Thank you. I definitely don't think I was a natural. I don't think I'm built athletically or anything like that. I think what I love most about boxing is that I think anyone can do it, and I mean any shape, any body size, things like that. You just need to have the right mindset. You need to work harder than everyone else. I think that's what boxing's for everyone. But you just you need to have the mindset for it. That's for sure.
Well, and the heart, I think. I think you need to have the heart.
100% the heart. Yeah, I should say that.
Yeah, if you haven't got the heart, I'm like, go to recreational boxing. No disrespect, but
you find and you usually find those out pretty quickly. Where the gym where I was at from 13 onwards in Perth, Western Australia, my coach, big scary looking Viking, tattooed head to toe, and
I've seen him.
Look at him, Fox. He, what he says, he weeds out the weak from quite early on, and sometimes would be sent out for a run, and sometimes they just wouldn't come back. They just go home.
Oh, shame. The thing is, I'm not being funny. It's not a game, and I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting it's not for you, but effectively you are going to get hit in the ring. So,
and all respect to anyone that ever jumps in the ring. I mean, we get amateur fighters all the time coming through the gym, and I'm like, to just be able to get in the ring, that's a huge accomplishment in itself, because it is a tough sport.
Yeah, 100%. So you're good friends with Skye Nicholson, aren't you? And she's signed with Matchroom Boxing. Have you been really impressed with her pro career?
Oh, she's been going so good. It's awesome to see. I mean, that first World Championships I was talking about, we went together. So she was 16, I was 15, going to our first World Championships together, and pretty much been teammates, roomies ever since then, Olympics together. So it's so awesome to see what she's accomplishing as a pro and with Eddie Hearn at Matchroom. Like, honestly, incredible to watch her and support her. She's always telling me, come on. I'm like, I want to do this Commonwealth Games that I've got now. The Olympics is still on my sight for Paris, but definitely very exciting to look at in the future for sure.
I was going to ask you whether that was, something that you were considering, but just going back to the Skye situation, was it quite difficult to kind of see your roomie, although she's doing really well, was it difficult to kind of lose your pal in boxing?
It is. I mean, it is and it isn't. Like, we still talk so much, we're always going to have that bond together. We've just been doing this for so long. And it's cool. I think it's cool that she's paving the way, and getting Matchroom to helping with that, getting Matchroom to Australia, and setting it up so when I come along, she's going to be
exactly.
Yeah. No, it is cool. It's a bit weird going on trips now, and we're not here together. But I'll catch up with her after the Com Games. She'll come watch me. She's going to try and get some tickets, and I'll catch up with her afterwards in London.
To be fair, I think it's, especially because the professional scene is still building, you're not considered old, going into professional, but it's kind of considered old as a male boxer, but it's not for a female boxer. So you have got that time to go, do you know what? I want to tick off another Commonwealth Games, bag the gold, and then go to the Olympics, which is literally 2 years ago. Well, less than 2 years away. Do you know what I mean? Come off the back of that, clean up there, and there's a clear pathway now, which she's, really opening the doors. Would you talked about Eddie Hearn, and he's announced that he's going to be, I know he's got some fighters, obviously Skye, he's got some fighters in Australia, but he's really looking to sort of develop the boxing scene in Australia. With that said, would you rather stay in Australia, or would you go down the Skye Nicholson route and come to London?
I think I would like to do a bit of a mix. I know that there's just so much depth in the sport over in the UK. I think just to be a more worldly fighter and get as much as I can out of the sport. I'm not going to do this for another 20 years. I want to get as much as I can out of it. So if that means coming to the UK and linking up, doing sparring, getting a coach there to work with, and then coming back to Australia and having that balance, I think it's really good, because I have a great home coach as well in Melbourne that I've been working with. So that's Marcos Amato. He's great. He does so much for me in the sport. But it would just be more, the UK, like I said, has a lot of depth. It's a lot of great boxers and coaches. So if I can get a good balance, I reckon that would be perfect. Yeah.
Do you think that also that it's kind of your responsibility as the flag bearer for amateur boxing to kind of also have your foot, like you say, in Australian professional boxing to help sort of really build that up? Because I know you've got some good fighters. Shannon, I've forgotten the surname.
Shannon
What's her name?
O'Connell.
Yeah, she's been around and she was a good amateur, but she's almost kind of missed out, hasn't she, on that whole
Hasn't really gone into
new info.
Yeah. She's great boxer and doing a lot for the women in Australia for sure. But yeah, this international scene's opening up. The women's boxing is going crazy at the moment. I definitely want to be a part of that, and the amazing women that are already paving the way, doing that work now. Like I said, I'm a perfectionist. I've been wanting the Olympic dream has been my dream since I first started, since, as long as I can remember. I don't want to leave. I want to get that gold medal. I want to get that medal so bad. So I've got to go again. I've got to try for this gold now. And as long as I do my best and put my absolute all into it, I know I'll be happy. And, the pro scene's opening up now, and you never know. You can balance both. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that you're. Don't get me wrong, it's really great that the professional side is really starting to kind of develop, but I still believe that there's such a wide scope between the top girls and the bottom girls, and I think that will start to fill up. The middle will start to fill up once there's a new influx of people like yourself coming into the sport. Do you know what I mean? And I think it'll be good for you guys as well, because some believe that the levels are better in amateur boxing. Would you agree?
Yeah. Look, with amateur boxing, I just think it's not given, even it called amateur boxing, Olympic boxing, I think it's not given enough credit. I think most of the top Olympic boxers would definitely beat a lot of the pros. And that's the thing, we have to deal with this all the time, as you would know. People always give me comments like, "Oh, when are you gonna be good enough to turn pro? When are you gonna, like it's the next level up for me?" And I'm like, it's not the next level up. This is the top level that I'm at, and I want to be the top level of the pros as well. That would just make the whole all over experience of boxing for me. But it's definitely a big misconception. That anyone can, what they don't realize is that anyone can really turn pro. You get promoted, you get the right marketing, you can look like a great boxer, but you can't really back it up.
We know the truth.
That's it. And I hope that people kind of start to realize that a bit more.
The thing is, don't get me wrong, it's hard for me not to be biased about how good amateur boxers are when I've been involved in the sport for so many years. And it annoys me as well when people go, well, they've still got that amateur style, like it's a bad style. Yes, it's two different sports. Just say she hasn't or he hasn't progressed into that style yet, but it doesn't make them any less of a fighter. Do you know what I mean? So I do get a little bit of a bee in my bonnet about that. And I believe that the professional scene has gotten better since the amateurs have turned
Absolutely.
over.
That's what I like about it. That's what is enticing me now, is that actually a lot of the great, once you get your Olympic medal, gold medal or whatever, a lot of them are actually changing over to the pros. And that's why it's more enticing. I like to fight the best of the best. I don't want to sit here and I'll pit you because you're going to make me look good in this. That's what I love about, and that's why I think I have so much more respect a lot of the time for Olympic boxers, is because you have to fight the best of the best. I love that.
100%. 100%. I like it. And I think what a lot of people are finding now is they're coming in at your level into the professional scene, and then they're looking around for journey women, and it's like, oh God, where are they? Do you know what I mean? Because they need to develop on the pro scene. They've got to learn the style, but it's like, who do we pick? It's usually someone on the way out. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Or it's someone with a lack of skill set, in my opinion.
That's why, it's so great to see now, so much talent coming through, and it is lifting. I'm going to say women's boxing because that's what I'm mainly focused on. It's lifting women's boxing immensely. And that's why I say it's definitely more enticing now, because a lot of, there's a lot more depth in the women's pro scene.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What are your thoughts though on it being called? Because I've just done another podcast, and I just, although I say it, I kind of feel weird saying it because I just see you as boxers. Do you know what I'm saying? But how do you feel about being called, you know, it being like it's a separate sport, female boxing?
Yeah, look,
that?
yeah. So I'm seeing it more and more as well. You know, it's just like the men's weight divisions will be like just whatever weight division it is. So, you know, 75, 81, whatever. And it's female 75. Like, I don't know, why does it have to be females are like the difference and males are the standard? You know, why? Yeah, there's a lot of things like that do bother.
But in terms of professional boxing, there is such a maybe because it's so new, but there's this thing of like, oh yes, the female boxing. It's like, well, they're just boxers that happen to be female.
Or you're good. You're really good for a female boxer.
Good well, could smash you up. Yeah, exactly. So, having said that, there is obviously on the 10th of September, Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall.
I'm so excited to watch this one.
Literally, do you know what I'm thinking? Please don't let it be a letdown after the whole of that whole vibe. Do you know what I mean? The build up. But obviously, there's been a 10-year gap between them being at the amateurs, and now obviously they're both pros. Are going to fight for a world title on the 10th. What do you feel, firstly, about an all-female card? It's the first time in the UK they've done an all-female professional card. How do you feel about that?
We're getting there, leveling up for sure. I think it's incredible. I actually don't know much about the undercard yet, but I do know that Maya versus Baumgartner is on there, and that's another one I'm super excited for. Those are the main two that I know about, and I'll have to actually, after this, look up who else is fighting on it. But both going to be two incredible fights, 4 incredible boxers there, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
So you don't mind that there are 2 world title fights on 1 professional card?
I think at the moment, like, it's hard because, you know, people have this misconception about female boxing, but I think it makes it more enticing for a lot more people around the world to tune in to come if there's 2 world championships. I know, it's the co-main event. You know, I don't want it to lessen one person's, you know, world title over the other or anything like that. They're both going for these but yeah, I think for the sport now, for marketing purposes, I think it will be really good.
I like the fact that you know, I'm getting different people's opinions on this, because some people think it's great. Clarissa Shields thinks it's great. She agrees with it. Savannah Marshall, not so much. Yeah. So it's good to see, you know, everybody has their own opinion. I do think that as soon as you mention, especially if you're in the fight game, everybody's excited for that fight. So I disagree with it personally, but that's just my opinion. I disagree with it. I think I feel like, not that I disagree. I disagree with it. I feel a little bit like it's a great thing, like you just said, marketing wise. I think it's an absolutely great thing, and I can see your point of view in terms of like, people might who never watched boxing before might go, oh my god, this is a little bit different, and especially also women that are not even in the sport, they might want to just check it out. I just feel though like it's taken a little bit of shine off this whole 10-year feud.
Yeah, I so get you as well. Yeah, that's it. I know, and it's probably a lot of the time just the boxing world that kind of knows about it. And so it's if it was more of a known thing, I think, about the female boxing, like I said, it's getting there, but it needs to be bigger. We just have to be bigger. But
it's coming. But so Maya, so first of all, who have you got? Clarissa Shields or?
Okay. I mean, like, I respect these, all 4 of them so much, and I'm gonna have to say I think Clarissa's got it. I think it's gonna be a great fight, but I just, I that's my opinion. I think Clarissa's got it. I think it's gonna go the distance too.
Oh, do you? Okay.
You disagree?
Do you know what? No. Do you know what? It's actually good. It's good because I think it's a 50-50 fight. And the thing is, we obviously here are going to be, I mean, I like Claressa Shields. I'm a great fan of Claressa Shields. And I'm trying to think with my head rather than my heart or whatever. I'm going to always support Savannah Marshall because, you know, I know her from the amateurs and whatever. And sometimes we can get, if you know someone, we can get a little bit too caught up in, do you know what I'm saying? You can sometimes get too caught up in like whether it's about I want her to win because I know you, or I want you, or I personally think she is going to win. Do you know what I'm saying? It just sometimes we can just become a little bit biased, and also if I was to think that Claressa would win, people get really upset. It's like it's not personal.
You're like betraying the country.
Yeah, it's not so. Yeah, it's just not personal.
Yeah.
But I just feel that Savannah's got it. But I understand that everybody is kind of going that way, and so it's really interesting to hear your take on it. You know, it's nice to hear someone else's take on it.
I mean,
and especially somebody who knows boxing.
I've sparred them both a few times, and just from that, just how I see them box and how I've watched them fight and stuff. I think it's going to be it is very 50-50, but I do think Claressa's got it.
Do you think that Savannah Marshall has changed enough to cope with, and I'm not talking about just necessarily boxing style. I mean, it's well documented that, you know, she didn't necessarily deal with all that the media pressure and stuff like that, and she seemed to have got a handle on it, you know, in the professional scene. Do you think that might play in her favour at all?
To play in Claressa's favour?
In Savannah's favour?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I can't comment on that. I'm not sure.
And on the flip side, Claressa Shields has gone into mixed martial arts. It's a completely different sport, completely different distribution of weight and stuff. Do you think that that might hinder or help her?
I don't think I don't think that MMA or anything like that will hinder her performance. If anything, you never know. She could get better on the inside game.
See, I was wondering, I'm going to be honest. So when I saw her on social media the other week, she's still training MMA. I was like,
that's a bit surprising, yeah.
But do you know what I was thinking? I wonder if it is exactly what you're saying on the inside work and actually holding her and tying her down. I think you've got to try and get hold of Savannah first. And believe you and me, I've tried filming her while she's training. It's the most difficult thing ever because she's just, by the time you're there, she's gone. But I did wonder, why is Claressa doing MMA training? I wonder if it is for the inside and the grappling. It's not grappling, the basically tying her up.
Yeah, I was wondering as well. I did see something about that. It would be interesting to see. Otherwise I'd be shocked if she's still doing other stuff in the MMA because this is obviously such a massive fight. But yeah, I think that she'd be putting it all for this fight, even if it is the kind of the grappling thing, because it can happen a lot, especially in females. It happens a lot.
Yeah, it is exciting. I can't actually wait. And the Maya Bumgardner. So we saw what Maya did, obviously, to Terry Harper. What are your thoughts firstly on her anyway, just as generally as a boxer?
Bumgardner or Maya?
Bumgardner.
So I watched her fight Terry Harper in person. That was I was there. So I mean, it caused a very big upset in the arena. I think she really impressed me with her movement, her speed. I really liked her, and I hadn't seen her really before that. So to see what she was like in person, I was like thoroughly impressed.
I saw her at the Prezza. I just get feelings about people and the way she was. Sometimes, I'm not suggesting sometimes people that are super confident or loud, because she was quite loud there, no disrespect, but, you know, in comparison to her opponent. And I thought, she's going to beat her. I just had the feeling, I thought, oh my God, she's going to beat Terry Harper. But she didn't only beat her, she beat her.
Yeah, she came in with just a crazy amount of, I don't know, she just had something about her, like you said.
Yes.
The confidence, everything about her demeanour. She looked like she had it for sure.
And then on the flip side, Michaela Mayer. I mean, she was a good amateur. She's another one that's, let's say, very confident. What do you think of her as a fighter?
Oh yeah, so I've known Michaela for years. We do training camps in the US and became friends and things like that. I think she's a great boxer. I love seeing the it's funny that her comments and she shares things on Instagram and social media. It's quite funny. Hypes the fight up a lot more.
Is she? I gotta ask you. Is she? Because it comes across to me sometimes like she's just purposely trying to wind people up.
I think that's. But it's because I think I know her. I think if I didn't know her, I'd be like, oh, I don't know, it would be different. But I think it's just winding them up and just bring them fight. Yeah, I think she's a really cool person. And a great boxer.
So this is going to be tough for you then. See, this is going to be tough for you. Who have you got and why? Come on.
Okay, I'm a bit less indecisive with this one. More indecisive. I think Mayer's got. I think Michaela Mayer has got this one. Again, Baumgartner, she's great, and I can see her as well, giving her a bit of trouble. So, I'm a bit on the fence with this one, but yeah.
So, from what I've seen of them both so far, and yes, they're both. I love that fight with Mayer and was it Hamadouche? Yeah. The French girl, Hamadouche. Was it Hamadouche? Yeah. Sure. I saw that fight, and they're very aggressive, and she's very much a come forward fighter, and you know that she's good under pressure. I think the only thing that she's lacking very slightly, in my opinion, is her defensive skills. I think in terms of Baumgartner's got better defensive skills, but I'm still a little bit on the fence of like, I'm not sure who. Again, I'm one of these people that I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch them both fight again, and then I'm going to just try and. But I don't think it's going to be easy.
No, I think that's going to be tough. That both fights.
I think that's going to be a tough fight. I think that's going to be tough. But what I did like about, you saw, I think she really made a mark. I'm talking about Michaela here. She really made a mark against Hamadouche, because Hamadouche is one of them will get in there, rough you up, hit you with a hammer. and she really, she really rose to the occasion. So that, if you're facing that would be quite daunting, I think. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and Michaela, she's been wanting this fight for a very long time. So I don't think she'll be cutting any corners in this. She'll be doing everything she can for this fight. I think both girls will. I just know that she's been after this fight for so many years. So, very, very exciting.
I know. I mean, I can't. I'm going to be honest. I can't really say who I think is going to win.
I know, that was a tough one for me. I'm like, I have to say someone it's at this point, but I think, like you, I'm going to have to go back and actually watch a bit of footage of both.
Yeah. It is. It's very, very exciting. So coming to you, obviously, you've got the opening ceremony on Thursday. Is that be the first time you've all got together and got all the kit on?
Yeah, I've been waiting for the kit. This is the only bit of uniform we've got so far. That's just travel.
Oh, you're waiting for it to arrive?
We've got to travel. Is there a travel shirt? And then when we get into the village, I'm pretty sure that our bags are going to be waiting in our room. So it's always exciting getting the uniform and bright yellow and green.
What's the best thing about the opening ceremonies? Or the most memorable
this
thing?
one I actually don't think I will be going because I could be fighting. I think I might be fighting the next day. So, yeah, that I won't be going if I am. But the most exciting thing, just the atmosphere. Everyone around you, it's the start. You're so ready. It's full of excitement. The closing ceremony, it's all been done. It's a come down. But this is just like building up excitement and everything of the whole games, really. I know there's going to be a few exciting performers. One of my teammates just came in just before, and she was just like, "The Black Sabbath guitarist playing." Like, she's so excited.
Oh, was it? Is that Slash? Would that be Slash?
God,
I don't know. Maybe I
literally.
I don't know actually. Yeah, maybe I just made that up.
His name
Google
is
it.
right here. It is. Oh, Tommy Ione.
Oh no, I don't know.
Oh, she's very excited. Duran as well. You know.
Oh, yeah, because they're from Birmingham.
Yeah.
Of course. Oh my God.
Still hoping that maybe Ozzy Osbourne will make a surprise appearance.
Yeah, I think for us watching on the outside, it's just the joy of all. Like, so you guys are obviously really successful, and then you all become like almost like little children with your cameras out, just soaking it up. The joy that radiates. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone around you is like that. So I feel like you get more heightened, and you're like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever. Photos everywhere.
Yeah. And is that a moment where you get to check out who, you know, obviously the other teams are, have a little, when I mean check them out, see who's, you know,
look for the other boxes.
Good looking. Yeah, look at the other team and go,
See you Thursday night.
I see you.
That's so cool.
Obviously after the boxing.
To see like other people from Australia, other countries.
No, just checking them out. I'm joking, but is that a moment where you kind of almost like just have it's relaxing? I know you've got work to do, but it's relaxing. Everyone's checking each other out.
I guess like you know there's so much build up to this, and I guess it's a moment where you don't have to think about you know it's probably a time that you get switched off from. Oh, I'm fighting, I'm doing this, it's the game plan, blah, blah, blah. You know, you actually can enjoy that moment and then get back to it. You know?
Yeah.
Just depends, like for me, depends how close I'm fighting to the opening ceremony. If it's within a couple of days, I won't go just because I like to stay, you know, mind in, focused. And I think sometimes, I like to think that, you know, I can sacrifice those kinds of things if it comes to performance because it makes me think that, like I'm doing everything I possibly can.
I know you've got Kerry Davis as our 75 kilo fighter. Who's boxing from Ireland?
There's no Irish boxer in. I know there's no Indians because the Indians are here as well. There's no one in 75 from there. None from Ireland. Kerry. The biggest competition for me though will be Canada.
Right.
And she just won the World Championships, and again we're 1 for 1. I beat her the first time, and she got me the World Championships just before. So you know that recent one, but I'm quite confident, you know, to change my tactics from what I did. That's for sure. And very exciting. I know there's the Barbados. There's a few different countries. But I think the biggest competition will be Canada and Kerry Davis. She's good as well. We've actually done a lot of rounds recently. I went to England in November, December. I'd say we've sparred about 20 times.
Because you were at GB, weren't you?
Yeah, I've actually spent a lot of time in Sheffield lately. Like last year, I think I was there for 5 or 6 weeks, and then this year, 3-4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, so and then she was at this camp for the first week. We've been here for 2 weeks, so.
So, in terms of obviously, you've just said you've been to Sheffield. I'm guessing you've been to London. Have you ever been to Birmingham?
I've not been to Birmingham actually. No, the music.
You've never been to Birmingham. So obviously you're going to be there for how long are the games for? Nearly a month.
Yeah, so they're the 28th to the 8th.
To the 8th, okay. So do you know any Brummie slang?
No.
So that you can chat to the locals.
No, so Brummie, is it with a U or an O, like Brummie or Brummie?
Brummie. So they're from Birmingham. But anyone from Birmingham is called Brummie, and also they have a Brummie accent. You say, "Oh, they've got a Brummie accent." So, do you know any slang? God. Any Brummie slang?
I know nothing.
How are you going to communicate with the locals?
Teach me.
We're going to play a game. We're going to play a quick game. I'm going to give you some Brummie slang, and you're going to try and work out what it means.
Here we go. All right.
Okay. Well, we'll start with an easy-ish one. Babby.
Babby?
Yeah.
Oh, God knows. Babby. It's like...
All right, Babby. If someone went, all right, Babby.
I just think it's like, it sounds like dad. Like, puppy or something like Bubby. Baby? I don't know.
Baby. Yeah. It is. It's baby. Hello, baby. What is a cob?
A cop? COP?
A cob.
Cob. It's big corn.
A
Corn
cob.
cob.
C-O-B. A cob.
Cob of corn. Cob. Cobber. Like, you know, in Australia, we some people say like, hey, cobber. Like, just like, hey, mate.
No, I don't
Nah.
know. No.
Okay. What is it?
Try and guess. It's something to eat.
Cob. Yeah, it's a corn.
It's a bread roll.
Oh, like cob loaf?
Yeah, it's that. Yeah. Is that what you got? Have you got something called a cob loaf?
I think so. I've heard of it.
Oh, okay. All right. Here's another one. What does mither mean? Stop mithering.
Stop bothering me?
Yeah, pestering someone.
I think I got that from your sentence. Use it in a sentence and I'll get it.
Okay, this is the last one. So if someone said, oh, mate, you're cack-handed.
Oh, God, I have never heard that in my life. Cack-handed. Yeah. I feel like you're making up words. You're speaking German.
I'm not. See, Sky said that. I'm not making this up. People talk like that. You're cack-handed.
I feel like I'm gonna need
Katie, you're cack-handed.
You're cack-handed. I honestly don't even know where to start with that one.
You're clumsy.
You're clumsy.
You're doing something in a very clumsy way. So my suggestion to you is just stick with the Aussies because you won't be able to communicate.
Sorry, what?
The accent's really cool, actually. It's really, really cool. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm so glad that I have actually got to meet you virtually. You are saying that you think that you are going to be boxing on, so it would be the 29th,
that's
Friday the 29th of July. Well, listen, I wish you all the luck. For people tuning in, where can they watch it in Australia? I think here you can watch it on the BBC.
Yeah.
Folks at home, where will they be able to watch it?
It'll be on Channel 7 or it'll be on the Channel 7 Plus app. There's an app we got. So, you know, everyone can tune in back home too.
Nice. Listen, I wish you all the luck. Please don't beat our girl.
Well,
just do your best. Just do your best.